All right, let's get practicing in QuickBooks Online. Grab the link below in the description so that you can follow along. All right, here we are in the QBO gym. And the QBO gym is a place where we have numerous exercises that simulate real life scenarios that you may encounter as a bookkeeper. Every single month, we come out with new and varied exercises for you to practice and complete, and we break it down for you into 4 different sections. So today we are going to be working in the September strength training section where we really focus on prepayments. At the top here is a little video that tells you what's going on that month in Craig's world. He is our fictitious business owner. Further down is an interactive quiz to test your knowledge based on what you just saw. And then further down are all of the activities or the exercises within that section. So today we are going to finish up the strength training section by practice handling vendor deposits. You will need to be in the sample company. If you are not sure how to get into the sample company or get your own free QBOA account, just go ahead and click on the link below in the description. So our scenario today is that Kate Whalen asked Craig to build her a new patio. Craig needs you to create the estimate and collect 1/3 deposit in advance to help cover the initial cost of patio stone. He'll have to special order this from Norton Lumber and Building Materials, and they require a deposit. So let's see how to record all of this. So the Whalen hardscaping project is large, and Craig wants to collect an upfront deposit and then do a partial invoice at about the halfway point of the job. Let's set up her estimate and then use progress invoicing to collect her payments. Progress invoicing allows us to create multiple partial invoices from an estimate over the course of a single job. So let's see how we would do this. So step 1, to use progress invoicing, you need to first turn it on in QBO. So to do that, click on the gear icon and then select Accounts and Settings. So here we are in the sample company. This is the dashboard. At the top here, click on the gear icon and then under your company, select Account and Settings. We need to click in the Sales tab, and then in the Progress Invoicing section, we need to click into it to make it editable. So here is the Sales tab, click on that. And then if you scroll down, you will see Progress Invoicing. Currently it is off. Go ahead and click into that box. It'll make it editable for you. You could have also clicked on a pencil over here. Next to that create multiple partial invoices from a single estimate, we're going to toggle it. Click on the toggle so that it toggles on. It will turn green when you do. So let's go ahead and do that. Just click on that. And you will see that QBO is just sending up this little warning like, hey, are you sure you want to do this? Do you want to update your invoice template? And so for this, yes, we do. We want to update that template. Click on the green update button. And then we are going to click on the green save button. And now that has been turned on for us, go ahead and click on the green done button down here on the bottom right corner. And that setting has now been saved for us. So now let's take a look and see, let's set up Kate's estimate from within her customer account and then send an invoice for that initial deposit. So in the left-hand nav bar, we're going to mouse over customers and leads and then select customers. So over here on the left-hand side, here's customers and leads. Hover over that and then select customers. And you will see this appear. We need to scroll down until we find Kate and then click on it. So scroll down, here is Kate, click into the box and you will see her customer profile appear. If you happen to get any kind of pop-ups, just go ahead and click out of them. We are going to create that estimate. So to do that, click on the new transaction and then select estimate. So over here, new transaction, you are going to select estimate. And this will appear. Her information is showing, which is great. One less step that we have to do. Let's go ahead and fill it out. In the product and service, on the first row, we're going to select design. So design, click into it 2 times, type, oh, actually it's right there. The design, click on that one right there. The amount for this one is going to be $500. So let's put that in the amount field. Click into it, that box, delete, and then change it to 500. If you tab over, you'll see that it has been updated by QBO. In the second row, we need to put in landscaping hours. So in that second row, click onto it 2 times. If you type in landscaping, well, actually, let's just type in hours. That'll make it easier. There it is. Landscaping hours. The number that he is going to put in there is for 240 hours. So let's put that in the quantity box. Tab over into that rate box. We are going to change that to 60. He is charging $60 an hour for this. So 60, tab over. You will see that QBO has made a calculation for us. 240 times 60 equals that $14,400. And now we need to add another product and service. We need to add a new one. So we're going to do that in the third row. So click into this third row, click into it 2 times, then click on the plus add new. And that is showing up for us. We're going to add the patio stone to Craig's products. So let's go ahead and click on non-inventory. He is just buying these stones as he needs them for specific jobs. He's not tracking them, so it's not inventory. It is non-inventory. Click on that there. And then let's fill it out. The name of this field is going to be patio stone. So let's go ahead and type patio stone there. The income account field is going to be job expenses, job materials, decks, and patios. Now, usually for this one, I type whatever the end part of an account is, because it's usually easier to find it that way. But if I click deck, you see there's decks and patios. One of these is an expense account. One of these is an income account. Rather than just clicking on one and guessing, I'm going to click into this arrow so that I can find the expenses. And I'm looking for that job expenses, job materials, decks, and patios. So we're going to click into that one. And in real life, if you are doing bookkeeping and you have accounts that are 2 different types, like an income and an expense that are named the same or something very, very similar, highly recommend changing that so that it is easier for you as the bookkeeper to decipher which one you actually need. So one more thing that we need to do in the under purchasing information, we need to check the box next to I purchased this product service from a vendor. So we have I sell this product, but we need to do this one right here. I purchased this product service. If you had any kind of details that you wanted to that were specific for this one, you could fill it in here. We don't, so we're just going to go ahead and save and close this. So click on the green save and close button. That has been saved, and now here it is for us on that third line. In the amount field, we're going to finish up our estimate and type $18,000. That is what the patio stone is estimated at. So 18,000, tab over, you will see that that has been updated, and all of this is being added together by QBO for $32,900. So now we're just simply going to save and close this. Save and close. There we go. And that has been added right here to her customer profile, the activity. So Craig wants to collect 1/3 of the estimate for the job up front. So to do that, we need to, in the right of the estimate transaction, click on the down arrow and then select Convert to Invoice. So this line right here, that estimate we just created, click on the arrow right over here, and then at the top one, the first selection, select Convert to Invoice. Now you will see that you have 3 different options here. One, it's for the whole balance. One is a percentage of that, and then you can do an entry for each line. So The third choice allows you to customize the amount per line. I think that's what I just said, but let me just reiterate that. The second option is the one that is going to be the easiest for us because he wants to collect 1/3 of the deposit. He wants 1/3 of it as the deposit. So we're going to click on the circle next to percentage or amount and then type 33 in the box. It'll automatically be calculated for us. So click on that little circle next to that one, not 50%, but 33. If you tab over, you will see that QBO has automatically calculated 33% of that invoice, that 32,900 invoice that we just created. So it's nice that QBO does all of this calculation for us. So when I tabbed over, you saw that got updated. Now we're just going to click on the green Create Invoice button. And this has appeared now for us. It has showing the 33% of each of those line items for us. In the terms, we're going to change it to due on receipt because if Kate accepts the estimate, we want her to pay for this deposit amount as soon as possible. So let's go ahead and change that. Here's the terms, click on the arrow there and then select due on receipt. And now we are simply just going to save and close this invoice. And that has now been saved. And you see it's been added down here as well. So Kate is really excited about this project and she swings by and pays with, she pays with a check for her deposit. So let's go ahead and record it. We need to receive payment. So we're going to click on that little link there that says receive payment. And this will appear for us. We are just going to simply save and close. We don't have any of the other details in this exercise. If you had a check, she paid by a check and you have a check number, maybe put it in the reference number. But for right now, all we're going to just do is save and close this. And that is showing that that invoice, that 33%, that 1/3 deposit that she made has been paid for. So now that she has accepted the estimate, Craig is going to go ahead and order the special patio stone that she wants from Norton Lumber and Building Materials. The total bill for the stone is going to be $15,000. Unfortunately, the patio stone is not in stock and it needs to be special ordered. So Norton requires a deposit of 35%, which in this case is $5,250 for the special orders. So let's see how we would record this. We're going to click on the plus new button and then select expense. So in the top left corner here, click on plus new and then under vendors, select expense. And you will see this appear. Let's go ahead and fill it out. In the payee field, we're going to select Norton Lumber and Building Materials. So click into it, start typing in Norton. There they are. The payment is going to be MasterCard. So click in that arrow and then select MasterCard. As a note here, you saw this little pop-up drawer appear. This is just showing other expenses, other things that are related to Norton. If it's something that you want to add specifically to the transaction that you're working on, you would just click on an add all. We're not doing that for this exercise. I just wanted to point out what this is. We're going to go ahead and just click on this little arrow to collapse it so we don't see it while we're doing our exercise here. In the category field, we are going to select prepaid expenses. Now, prepaid expenses is a current asset account. It reflects the fact that the deposit is still technically Craig's money until he receives the patio stone. On the balance sheet, these funds will still show up as part of the company's assets. So let's go ahead and choose that here. Click into it 2 times and start typing in prepaid for prepaid expenses. As you see, it's an other current asset. Go ahead and click on that. The description field here, we're going to put as patio stone. So click into the description field, type in patio stone. And then the amount for this is $5,250. That's what the deposit was for. So click in the amount box, type $5,250, tab over. You see it's been captured by QBO here. And then we're just going to simply save and close it. So down here, click on the green Save and Close button. And now that expense has been saved for us. So shortly thereafter, Craig receives the patio stone for Kate's projects, and so we need to record the bill from Norton. We're going to click on the plus new button again and then select bill. So click on the plus new button under vendors, select bill. And now this will appear, and let's go ahead and fill it out. In the vendor field, again, this is for Norton Lumber. This is what it's from, so go ahead and type their name. Norton for Norton Lumber, click on that. Their information appears here. In the category field, we are going to select job expenses, job materials, decks, and patios. So click into this. I am going to click in the arrow so that I can scroll and make sure that I select the correct account, the expense account for this one. So here's that job expenses, job materials, decks, and patios. Click on that. The description here is going to be that patio stone. So click in the description, type in patio stone. The amount here is going to be $15,000. Now note that we are using the total amount for the patio stone, not simply the balance on the bill. And the entire amount needs to be recorded as job expenses. So let's make sure that we do that here for that $15,000. That's what the total is going to be. So $15,000. And I say total, I mean the total for the job is what it is for that patio stone. So $15,000 there. And then in the next row on there, we're going to do another line that says prepaid expenses, which is that deposit that was just made. So go ahead and pull prepaid or type in prepaid to select prepaid expenses. And then we are going to, in the amount, put a negative $52.50. By using a negative amount here, we will be adjusting the bill to the actual amount owed, as well as updating the prepaid expense account that we were just filling out to recognize that our deposit with Norton has been used. It's linking those. So let's go ahead and do that. In the amount field, type negative or minus $52.50, tab over. And you will see that QBO has pulled off of that 15,000, that 52.50. Now you may be doing some math in your head and saying, that doesn't seem totally right. Well, that's because in the item details grid, there are 2 items showing up from a prior Norton bill. QBO has included these automatically, but we want the bill to only reflect the purchase of the patio stone. So we're just going to go ahead and delete them. To do that, you just click on the trash can icon next to each of those lines. So if I scroll down here, you see this item details grid. There's 2 things that are currently residing in here. Click on the trash can over on this one, and then on this one, you will see that that has removed. And now this has been updated to reflect just this information, just for the patio stone. So now we are just going to simply save and close this. So click on the arrow here. Sorry, if you have a little pop-up, click out of that. If you have an arrow here, just go ahead and click on that and then select Save and Close. And now that bill is showing as saved. So now let's go ahead and look at the balance sheet to make sure that our vendor deposit is accurately reflected. To get into the reporting center, we need to click on Reports on the left-hand side. So over here, you will see Reports. Click on that. And sorry, we are in the standard. Apologies there. I was still in a custom reports tab. We need to be in the standard tab right here. If you are not in that, click on that. It should automatically show up for you though. We're going to click on balance sheet, which is saved in the favorites. So here is the favorites. Select balance sheet. And this is showing up for you. It has been run for you. In the report field, we're going to just look at this month to date. So let's change that in the reporting period field and then run the report again. So if you scroll to the top here, click on this arrow that says under the report period and then select it as this month to date and then run the report again. So now we are just seeing this month to date. We're going to scroll down till we see the prepaid expense line on the balance sheet. And if you look at it, it is going to be showing as 0. Here it is right here under that other current assets. That prepaid expenses is showing as 0. So before we recorded the bill from Norton, it would have reflected that deposit amount, that $52.50. But now that Craig has the patio stone, the deposit that he had made was applied to the bill. So we're going to look at how the specific transactions are being reported. So let's go ahead and click on that $0 to see more details. So on that line right there, that prepaid expenses, click on that 0. And this drill down report will show. We're going to switch it over to Classic View. As a bookkeeper, you will find if you have a preference in that modern view versus Classic View. I prefer the Classic View. I like to see everything on one screen, but just know that as a bookkeeper, you'll find which one you prefer. So for this purposes, let's go ahead and click on the switch to Classic View. And now everything is showing here. If you get Intuit's sending me a little feedback survey. I am going to click out of this. If you've happened to get that also as you do this, I've never gotten that before, but if you happen to get that, go ahead and click out of it. Here is the full report that we are looking at. Here, you will see Craig's initial deposit added $52.50 to that prepaid expense account, reflecting that although it was paid to Norton, it still belongs to him until he has actually received the stone. So once the stone is received, the deposit amount is deducted from that prepaid expense account, and it's now part of Norton's bill as a deduction for the total amount, which is that $15,000. So the remaining bill amount of $97.50 is reflected in accounts payable on the balance sheet. If Craig has kept deposits at multiple vendors, it might be a good idea to customize this report to reflect the current balance at each customer, similar to what we just did. You did this with the prepaid income account in the previous exercise. So if you don't remember how to do that, highly recommend going back to that exercise. It was the last exercise in this section. But yeah, that is how it is done. So here is that $52.50 it is showing from the deposit, and it's pulling it out of there. And so yeah, that is it. That is how you would record vendor deposits. And if you have any questions or want to know more about the QBO gym, just go ahead and click on the link below in the description. We have finished the strength training section. We move on to the cool down section with our next exercise where we practice reconciling the bank accounts. And I will see you in the next video.